Hi everyone, welcome back to part 4. Or if you've just stumbled upon this video, maybe you're interested in learning Indian folk rhythms. So most Indian folk rhythms are based on a triplet time feel. So instead of looking at Indian folk rhythms first, let's just look at the triplet time feel in the first place. Theoretically, we've done a lot of videos on triplets on our YouTube channel. We leave you one in the description, but you'll find a lot more if you subscribe and hit the bell right now. And also go to nathanielschool.com, and in the free tutorial section, could filter your search and literally learn triplets with all my triplet lectures that I've ever done. Okay, so in this lesson, we are going to take the Umpa rhythm, which we've already learned from throughout this series. Part 1 was the regular style with some passing notes, passing triads. And then we also moved into the dance domain, Tresillo, things like Songklave. Part 3, we looked at different genres like rock, reggae, and the usual waltz, and so on and so forth. Now what we are going to do, let's understand the triplet feel first and then build rhythms along the same chord progression, which is G minor, C minor, E flat major, and D7. Get your keyboards out, play along with me. You don't have to just watch me. Play along, write things down, get the notes on Patreon and the notation and a lot more. And let's get cracking. So, first of all, let's understand the triplet feel. It'll divide the beat into 3 units, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a, or in India we say takita, 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 takita. So first off, you want to write down all the binary rhythmic possibilities that divide the beat by 3. By binary, I mean play and don't play, note and rest. So you could have your trivial set of 3, which is all in. Then you could have only at the 1 beat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 triplet. It's still triplets, but it's trivial. You can count it as just 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, or you do all 3, or you do nothing, 2, 3. I'm still could claim I'm playing triplets as we speak. Triplets are in my head. I hope you're enjoying it. I guess not. But anyway, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So trivial rhythms are just there. But when combined with the groovy permutations of on and off, you could have things like the swing. So even if you take this rhythm, which is ta ta on, off, on, and apply it to the umpa, it already transforms the music as opposed to the regular umpa, which is on the and. Now I'm giving space, dividing by 3. This is called the swing feel. However, I don't have to just do umpa, 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 umpa by latching onto the 1 and a. Takita. I can do 1 and that'll be. There we go. And to combine staccato with legato here and there, it can add a lot of interest for the dance feel you're trying to generate. But I'm hitting at the 1 and a 2 and a 4 and. Now if you combine swing and the swing, which is basically 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and with the da-da, 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 you get a very Indian feel. You get a very Indian rhythm. And again, following the principles of this umpa series, we want to also toggle between the root and the fifth and add some passing notes if we can. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and the right hand is targeting at the 1 and 1 and 3 and 4 and 1 and tak ta. Not to be confused with the Tresillo, which is the. Okay, there are all these confusions for rhythms that are so similar to each other, and to solve that confusion, we've done a good lesson on that. Check it out. We leave that in the description, comparing similar rhythms with each other. So Tresillo was you're dividing by 4, while triplets is, as always, you can do the lower fifth. Okay, so combining the and of course the other options where you could just do ita, just that can sound very busy, but if you combine it with ita, there's a lot more variety there. And you can always bring in the trivial rhythms. Of course, it'll sound very busy. So I tend to like to focus on ta tak ta, the swing ta tak tak ta tak ta tak ta tak ta tak, which is a very Western rhythm, and the Indian swing, you could say, which is da 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 da. But you combine that with da 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 da, or other way, da 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 da. So I have all these binary setups in my handwritten notes. Do check that out on Patreon. So you can use this for almost all of the South Indian music, the Rajasthani, Gujarati folk music, even Nepali music will have this rhythm as well. You know, it's just small variations, whether they make the left hand or the bass busy. You know, in this case, the bass is simple. Or you could also look at the bass being busy. You could also double up a few things to make it a bit more go-in or a Konkani kind of feel. You know, so it's very, very kind of interrelated. The idea is to practice those binary rhythm patterns, and if you slow it down, you'll get a lot of these Sri Lankan rhythms as well. You know, there's this really trending song out there, right? So in a nutshell, we've taken the Oompa rhythm pattern and we've tried to cover it across all the groovy, dancey genres out there. Will this work for a soulful ballad with Adele singing? I'm pretty sure never. But and there are no arpeggios and all that here. There's no sustain pedal. It's primarily to make people move. It's also primarily the thought process behind coming up with this series was, how can I get the students, which is you guys, to just survive any rhythm that you find yourself in. You're jamming with a drummer, cajon, tabla, whatever. See, we tend to focus on the chords a lot. We tend to focus on the inversions. But then if we play on our own, we tend to forget about rhythm. We throw rhythm away and we just focus on holding the chords. And then what do? As keyboardists, we start putting up the technology side of things, press drum loops and whatnot. Instead of that, play the drums on the piano. The piano is a very, very expressive instrument rhythmically. It's literally a drum kit because you play it independently with both your hands. So practice this hard. Do consider supporting us on Patreon with the notation and my handwritten notes. You'll also have a lot of other options on our Patreon channel, like interacting with me, clearing your doubts, joining my live workshops, and lots more private video resources that will be available for members only. Another thing to consider is structured learning at Nathaniel. You can do it via our video courses section. You can do it via our regular music method in-person classes or online lectures, and lots more. Go to Nathaniel School, fill up a form, and reach out to one of our course advisors. Thanks a ton. I will catch you in the next one. Cheers.